The trees at the Silent Witness Memorial in Gander share roots with a forest of 256 sugar maples at Task Force 3 502nd Memorial Park at Fort Campbell in Kentucky. The trees act as a living memorial to the fallen, a project which was spearheaded by then teenager Janice Nikkel, who wanted to do something to help the families of Aero Air Flight 1285.
It was 1985, it was right before Christmas, and I was busy with typical teen things. I was a 15-year-old, almost 16. I was playing basketball and cheerleading and had a boyfriend and not really preoccupied with the news of the day. Though this was big news in Canada, and my mom said, you know, it's kind of like 10 classrooms at your high school where each person had someone die right before Christmas. This is what it would have been like for these soldiers from this same army post in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And I said, oh, that really personalized it for me. And I said, Mom, what are Canadians doing about it? And she said, I don't know. So here I am thinking I'm 15, almost 16. I don't know what to do. I just wrote a letter to the Toronto Star newspaper and said I'd like to donate my babysitting money to plant trees as a living memorial for these soldiers. And I kind of said, okay, God, I'm a kid, I'm a teenager. I don't really know what this is going to do. But the news wires picked it up and they said, that's pretty special. It was really seen as a big deal that a young person at the time was doing something like this. And all I did was write a letter, and I let other people do the other parts of it. But Sheridan Nurseries in Mississauga at the time said they'd like to donate the trees. And so we had 256 Canadian sugar maple trees ready to be donated somewhere, but we didn't know where. And so this man who had planted trees on Mount St. Helens after it erupted, he's in Oregon, he said, you know what, I'd like to help you. And so he helped us connect with Fort Campbell. And they said, we would like to donate an acre of it's one of the largest army posts in America. And so 9 months later, we ended up in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and I was able to speak before about 1,000 soldiers and family members to dedicate this forest of Canadian maple trees. And it was a special gift. It felt like it was, I felt like it was such a privilege to represent Canada doing something special for our neighbors to the south.
Hello, my name is Major General Brian Winsky, and I have the honor of commanding the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. To the people of Gander, our shared history means so much to the Screaming Eagle Division and to me personally. Every year following that tragic day in December, members of the division have held a ceremony at our Gander Memorial honoring those who lost their lives in defense of our nation, and were humbled by Gander's own Silent Witness Memorial at the crash site and the monument you erected at Heritage Memorial Park. We're also honored by the recent renaming of a stretch of your highway to Remembrance Way. Our shared grief has given way to shared remembrance, but perhaps there's no more fitting tribute to those we lost than a living monument. And last year, we rededicated our memorial at its new location behind me, and we continue to be moved by the inspiration of Canada's own Janice Nikkel's vision of maple trees, which, rather than grow old with age, bloom each year anew. As we look back together on this tragedy, we're bound together by their memory, and we will always cherish our bittersweet connection with the people of Gander, Newfoundland. Thank you. I know the memories of those we lost will live on in our continued support and our relationship. Screaming Eagles, Air Assault.
When I went down for the 30th anniversary, I'd been invited to speak at that one, but it was there that I learned that the trees themselves had started to be intertwined on roots. And so they were going to have to figure out, do we just cut them all down and that's the end of this, and make benches out of this, and that's it? But one of the moms, the widows, Amy Gallo, had helped to have a vision for what was going to happen ahead of time. And they ended up planting 5 acres of Canadian sugar maple trees. So I went down with my husband and we dedicated a new forest of Canadian, I don't know if they were Canadian, but maple trees in honor of each soldier and crew member who passed away. And this was just a year and a half ago. It was amazing.
The first forest of Canadian sugar maples planted in 1986 at Fort Campbell grew and thrived. But due to the trees being planted too close together, they slowly started to die. So the Army donated an even larger parcel of land across the street from the Memorial Park, where 256 new sugar maples were planted so the memories of the fallen will live on.
The trees, they were so beautiful. Oh my gosh, they were so beautiful. And that is where I would go to visit my husband. He is buried 40 miles from here, but he is Fort Campbell to me. So when they contacted me and asked me to come in and just laid it out there for me, you're going to help us. I don't know how we're going to tell these family members and these widows that we have to cut these trees down. If we didn't do anything, 3 years later, they would have been brown. And I couldn't imagine watching my husband's tree die. Our beautiful new memorial is stunning. It's 4 times the size of the other memorial. It's amazing. It's so beautiful.